Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early morning to LALATE. It's Monday morning. Crush the weekend? Well, Monday's about to crush you. Just kidding. You know what Monday is going to be? Monday is going to be CR, no CR, shutdown, lockdown, stimulus check, no stimulus check, Republican versus Democrat. No one can really agree upon anything for the CR. Except one thing that they really can't agree upon. Anything, they can certainly agree upon that. On Sunday, Republicans are going after Republicans, Democrats are going after Democrats, and today, now that it's Monday, they realize that there's a problem. The problem is they have 2 days to get this done, sensibly. They got to get the CR bill done by December 11th. But the leading people in the Republican and the Democratic front all want a stimulus check in there. $1,200 stimulus check, that's not the problem. Suddenly, for the first time, $1,200 stimulus check is not the problem, even though it was not in the proposals. The problem is something else. A liability provision that Mitch McConnell has always wanted since day one. He's wanted it since May and June and July and August and September and October and now in December. Is he about to put the government on lockdown, shutdown, whatever you call it, down, because he wants a liability provision so badly that he has to just call it his way or the highway? Some Republicans say it's going to happen. My prediction, you're either going to see a stimulus check or you're going to see them not get their stimulus check because Mitch wants a certain way of his own. Meantime, what's been going on with the president and the president-elect about stimulus? Both have sort of sat back and let both sides sort of hammer it out. Today, you may see major pushes because of one major factor, the Georgia Senate races. And both the president and the president-elect want to get this stimulus out because they think it helps the Georgia races. But you ultimately need this because your UI benefits and your PUA benefits are expiring in just a few weeks. And states want to get it done because states don't want to have to pick up the problems that the federal government's not doing. But they are. That's the good news. So today, states are actually sending out stimulus checks in some places, and they're issuing free rent stimulus in others. It's all real exciting. Viewers of this channel continue to get big money across the board, and I'll be focusing on you getting additional money as well. On top of that, SSI and SSDI at $2,400. Major developments overnight. I'm so glad you joined me on this Monday morning. And we're here, and the bacon's toasted. Well, no, the bacon's grilling. The toast is toasted. And this is Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, bye everybody. It's Early Morning to LALATE, the 6 a.m. edition. Thank you for joining me on the two-part show every day here on LALATE. We start with 6 o'clock, and then I come back at 6:30 with the second part of this early morning's broadcast. I really appreciate you for joining me. Every morning is a lot of fun because I keep it easy breezy, lighthearted, and I always ask you, where's the bacon? And you don't leave me any. The toast is toasting, the bacon's grilling, the butter's buttering. I'm your here, and on the side is an instant premiere. Boy, if your first time joining me on Early Mornings LALATE, every morning show has an instant premiere, a live chat. You can follow along and chat with your friends from across the country, actually internationally. Viewers tune into LALATE internationally on a daily basis, a lot from the Philippines, from Colombia, Brazil, Mexico, Russia, and other parts of South America. So you may see them as well in the chat. Thank you if you're joining the chat. Oh, also Orion tunes in a lot as well. So say hello to those people. The live instant premiere is featured on the 6 a.m. broadcast and continued on the 6:30 broadcast as well. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please do, because no one does what this channel does. This channel is just doing a lot of incredible stuff, and I'm not referring to just me, it's you. You know, whether it's Purple Power Live, where 5, 6, 10 people jump in and say, hey, tell viewers this is how you get the money in Michigan. Tell viewers this is how you get the money in New York. Tell viewers this is how you get the money in Ohio. If it's not that, then viewers are actually jumping in the comments and helping one another. Or They're volunteering. There's 9 volunteers that are helping 20, 30 people a day sometimes get rent and keep them from homelessness. It's that type of spirit of the Purple Power, which is why this community is growing so quickly. So please subscribe, also like this video. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you start the new morning is that stimulus checks is not really the deal breaker in today's CR negotiations that are really going to unravel. It's rather this liability provision. The other one that's a big issue appears to be the price tag. If you've been with me for following all the videos in the last week, right before Mitch introduced his memo and the moderates introduced their memo, I told you there was an informal agreement somewhere devised. I don't know where it came from. It was on CNBC that the CR would not go over $900 billion, and that had been agreed upon by both sides. I don't know where that came from, but I heard that again on Sunday. What's at issue about that is that Larry Kudlow plays a big factor. And why? Because Friday, Larry Kudlow said, if they're having problems with the number, the price tag, what's the problem? Because we got $600 of SBA unused CARES Act 1 money you can repurpose for the stimulus relief. This is Larry Kudlow saying this, not me. And so he didn't understand why anyone would go to the mat on the CR negotiations over the dollar amount. What's important to understand is that a stimulus check costs $300. It's not $300, $300 billion, but it's not a big ticket item. And so if they're looking at the stimulus the CR bill today, and they're like, well, it's already at this, you want to put a stimulus check, that's $300 billion. No, it's not. It's free. You just repurpose CARES Act 1 money. There's $600 billion of it. The president's chief leading economic council individual, Larry Kudlow, confirmed on Friday, it's $600 billion. You just need $300 billion of it, half of it. It costs you nothing. Even if you are at a $900 billion CR, which I don't think they're going to go to, you're at Mitch's $500 billion. You throw in a stimulus check for $300 billion, it costs you $0. You're still at $500 billion. You just repurpose CARES Act 1. And I got to tell you, these are the people who are in favor of repurposing CARES Act 1 money. Republicans. So why not put a stimulus check in there? What's a little strange and screwy, and I never understand stuff like this. This is why, I talk coherently, you talk coherently, but they don't, is that Mitch has said in his memo he wants to repurpose CARES Act 1 money. Good, Mitch. I love that. Larry Kudlow, let's repurpose CARES Act 1 money. Good. I love that. Then we go to the Democrats. What do you want to do? We don't want to repurpose CARES Act 1 money. Why not? We just don't want to repurpose it. Why not? And then you ask them, do you want a stimulus check? Yeah, we want a stimulus check. But you go to the Democrats, do you want a stimulus check? Republicans, do you want a stimulus check? I'll get to that in January. So wait a second. The people who do want to give you a stimulus check don't want to repurpose CARES Act 1 money, and the people who don't often talk about a stimulus check do want to repurpose CARES Act 1 money. This is why people get headaches from watching people in Congress. It makes no sense. You would think the people that want to give you a stimulus check want to make it happen by repurposing the CARES Act 1 money, but they don't so they said don't repurpose it. Really screwy. What I'm going to tell you is going to happen today, tomorrow, and the day after is that you're going to hear people talk about everything of the CR and congressional leaders and congressional members. What I want you to understand is that unless it's really coming from the top, I want you to ignore it. I want you to only listen to Joe and Mitch and Donald. Those are the only 3 people you should really be listening to. Why? Because Nancy's been told to zip it, literally told to zip it. Chuck has been told to zip it. He went crazy initially. He flipped in 2 hours and went the other direction, and now he's been told to zip it. Joe is the one that's telling what he wants for the Democrats. Mitch is telling what he wants for the Republicans. But I'm going to tell you right now, there are crazy Republicans that are contradicting Mitch, and there are crazy Democrats that are contradicting Joe. And if you listen to everyone, it just makes you screwy. And those people have no say. All they're trying to do is get a book deal or a television gig because they're appearing on TV to say, I just don't like it. Okay, well, thank you for your contribution. I really appreciate it. So that's that thing. Now, the good news is that states are stepping up and saying, you know what? You're popping some Advil like you are. We're popping Advil like you are because, this thing in Congress is just making us nervous. So states are doing stimulus checks rent stimulus, free rent stimulus, and free utility stimulus. And then the privates. There's a series of private organizations, private charities, nonprofits that have really stepped up. If you don't watch Purple Power Live every night at 7 o'clock Eastern Pacific Standard Time, please do, because that's the CARES Act 1 free state stimulus money video. And in there, I'll detail there's no less than 3 to 4 national, well-known nonprofit organizations that are paying rent in some states for some viewers. Viewers have stepped forward in Kentucky, Mississippi, Montana, Arizona, and said, you know what, I couldn't get it from the city, state, or county. I got it from this organization. Then in New York City has an incredible opportunity to just grab free rent when you're having a real big problem. But the great news is that states aren't just dealing with just a stimulus check. They're also coming forward and announcing massive programs for free rent, free utilities across the board in places where they never had it before. So this week, a lot of them are going to go live. And what I need you to also understand is that if you looked last week, because I've been doing these videos for about 12 days, if you looked for free rent utilities and didn't find it, you followed all my advice, didn't find it, even reached out to a volunteer, couldn't find it then. Today and this week, continue to look because new things are being announced. Atlanta, DeKalb, Gwyneth, and other counties in Georgia and major cities in Georgia going live with a rent stimulus free program. The state of New York going live with one there. San Diego County going live with one there. Houston City going live with one there. These are places that they said they were never going to do it again. So when you're sitting here back with me and understand on a Monday morning, there is definitely no rent stimulus program in Los Angeles, use an example. What I'm saying to you is stay around because come Tuesday or come Wednesday, come Thursday, I would not be surprised if suddenly Los Angeles says, hi, we found some rent money. Cities just finding money all over the place, and your hope is that they spend on the right thing. Last week, LA said, you know what, we're going to give $40 or $50 or $60,000 to rich restaurant owners. That's just not the people that need money now. It's people who are on desperately need of a stimulus check, who are have lapsed in unemployment benefits. The other thing that states are doing is they're doing extended unemployment benefits. This is really good. So your UI or your PUA has expired or is about to expire. What do you do? In the video after this, I'm going to go over a lot more on what you should do. But what I want you to understand for this video is that states that are not giving additional weeks of UI or say, hey, your UI expires in a few days and Congress is not helping you. Tough luck. Have a good day. Those states may send you a letter in just a few days. Say, you know what? The governor met with the state legislature and have passed a law that will give you an additional 5 weeks of benefits. They're rushing to do this across the board. It's generally done all the time. It's called extended state benefits. They do it all the time in the case of a need. The point here is that this is a pandemic that no one has ever seen before, where the need is a lot bigger. And so this is not out of the ordinary. This is very typical. You should be seeing a lot more states doing this. Finally, EIDL. If you qualify for EIDL or thought about doing it, get it on file because I don't think it's going to be around after December 15th. I don't think it's going to be funded. I want you to get your application in, approved, and funded far before the 15th because it could be gone by then. I've done EIDL for a while, and the worst thing you can do with EIDL is you do it, you apply, you get approved, and then they say, we're shut down. What do you mean you're shut down? So where's my check? Well, we ran out of funds. What do you mean you ran out of funds? You approved my application. We have a signed contract. I'm signed up. No, we ran out of funds. Sorry. They do that. When they run out of funds, it literally means they ran out of funds. So you don't want to do that with EIDL, with CARES Act 1 grants, with rent utility, or state stimulus that's free money. You don't want to wait because when the money's gone, it's gone. The most important thing to take away from this video before you join me at the bottom of the hour at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is that the state stimulus that's being rolled out is literally with 7 to 10 day windows, very tight windows. And the more people that hear about, the more that's going to apply. In Orange County, Florida, 2 weeks ago, they announced a state stimulus package program where you could get a stimulus check from Orange County. It went live at 8 o'clock on a certain particular day. By 8:30, they had 5,000 applications in a very small area town, and they had to shut it down. So the surge in the demand is really there. So get these things on file fast. Join me at the 6:30 bottom of the hour broadcast, in which I'm going to go over a little bit more about how to deal with UIPUA, which is expiring in a few days. Then I'll be going over more about what to expect with the stimulus checks now versus stimulus checks in January. A lot of breaking developments. I thank you for joining me, and it's going to be a great day. And as always, stay informed, stay smiling, and save that life for more.